Hi, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. We're going to start the flag raising in just a couple minutes. We're going to allow some people to log in on Facebook, and then we'll start the ceremony. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to keep my mask on, whatever. I mean, just this morning, I just felt like I had a sure, no problem.
Oh, okay. Okay, so for them to hear me, I got to speak loud enough for them to hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Angela Bruno. I invite you to our 2021 Irish flag raising ceremony on St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. Before we start, I'm going to just say a few words. As we continue to navigate this public health crisis, we're live streaming this event on Facebook Live so that we can maintain social distancing and that our residents could view the ceremony today. Last month, we started our Cultural Affairs, Inclusivity, Diversity, and Celebrations Committee. We're searching for safe ways and significant ways to celebrate all of our members in the community. So working with my office and the Borough Council, we are establishing flag-raising events throughout the year. They're very simple events, but they're also very symbolic, and it's a way to observe and celebrate our diverse community and our residents. So today on St. Patrick's Day, we will be raising the Irish flag again to celebrate the Irish heritage and our residents in Dumont. I just want to say thank you to a couple of people in attendance today. We have Council President Carol Stewart, Councilman George Harvilla, Councilman Damon Inglace, and Councilman Jimmy Che. I want to say thank you to our Cultural Affairs Committee members, Chairperson Cassandra Francavilla, our Co-Chair and Recreation Director Tony Cuomo, Siumi Keys, Karen Prince Cunanan, Kristen Norena, Giancarlo D'Elia, and Francine Rojas, and also Jennifer Grum. Also to the members of our police department and our DPW that are also part of the committee, thank you very much. Also, thank you to Tony Ramos and the building and grounds crew that are here today. For our council people that aren't here, thank you to Connor Gorman and Lisa Rosillo for your continued support in these efforts with our Cultural Affairs Committee. I also want to acknowledge Bergen Irish Association President Kieran Lynch is here today. He'll be saying a few words in a moment. And thank you to our administrator, Chris Tully, and our excellent employees here at the Borough. Without you, these events wouldn't be able to happen, so we thank you for your hard work, and thank you for working with us. I'm going to read a proclamation. On top of being St. Patrick's Day, March is also Irish American Heritage Month. So, proclamation on March 17th, 2021, whereas Irish American heritage is celebrated in the United States to honor the achievement and contribution of Irish immigrants and their descendants living in the United States. And whereas the Heritage Month was celebrated in 1991 in the month of March to coincide with St. Patrick's Day, the Irish national holiday, on March 17th. And whereas each year in March, the Irish Toich visits the United States for St. Patrick's Day, and a shamrock ceremony takes place in the morning at the White House, where a crystal bowl containing shamrock, a traditional symbol of Ireland, is presented to the president in the Oval Office. And whereas 32 million people, or 9.9% of U.S. residents, claimed Irish ancestry in 2018. And whereas this month we celebrate the sacrifices and contributions that generations of Irish Americans have made to build a better America. and we renew the bonds of friendship that will forever tie Ireland and the United States. Now, therefore, be resolved that I, Andrew Mailer Bruno, Mayor of Dumont, along with the residents of the Borough of Dumont, do hereby proclaim the month of March as Irish Heritage Month. Thank you. Now, Kieran, if you'd like to say a few words about today, thank you very much for joining us.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mayor. I appreciate the opportunity to come down here and represent one of your cultures that are in this town. The Bergen Irish Cultural Center has been in Dumont since the early 1980s. Speaking in public is not necessarily an easy thing to do, and trying to make everything relevant, I was wondering what I would say, and I didn't want to say the wrong words. And coincidentally, I kid you not, last night I got an email from a distant cousin. I think with so much of the pandemic going on, people are looking up their family history. This is a gentleman I never met. He lives in Canada, but his father would have been from Kerry, where my dad was from. And hundreds of years ago, the family would have come from the same house. So his father happened to be on radio in Ireland in 1982, and he told this story in the native Irish language, which I can't speak. But I had him abridge the story for me. And it goes that there was a farmer who needed a worker. So this worker comes along, and he works for the farmer, and he works very hard for him. And he tells the farmer, you know, this is the hardest I've ever worked. I think I want to go home. I don't want to work this hard anymore. So the man says, can you give me one more day? He says, all right, I'll do one more day's work. At the end of that day, he says to the farmer, man, I hope I never have to work this hard ever again. So the farmer says, that's not what you should say. You should say, I wish plenty on you. So he's walking home now, and he passes a funeral procession. And to one of the people at the funeral procession, he says, oh, I wish plenty on you. And the man at the funeral procession says to him, that's not something you should say. You should say, God have mercy on the soul of the man who's passed away. So he's further down the road, and he comes upon a wedding party leaving the church. And at the wedding party, he sees one of the people there, and he says, may God have mercy on the man who died today. So again, you got to be careful what you say. Make sure you say the right thing at the right place. And I hope what I say today represents something valuable to the culture. That flag has been fought for as long as that flag has been fought for. The United States and Ireland have had a strong bond of its people. St. Patrick's Day has been celebrated for over 259 years in New York City alone. So that means we were coming here for many more years before then. The struggle of what Irish freedom is the struggle of every immigrant coming together, trying to get somewhere where you can better yourself, where you can improve for your family. And that, to me, is what I think this flag is all about. There has been a lot of lives lost for the American flag, a lot of lives lost for the Irish flag. The Irish flag is 100 years old. The American flag is older. For many times throughout history, though, people are still willing to give their lives for what both of those flags stand for. And we should all be grateful and thankful for what those men and women have done. And we should all be proud of our own cultures, whatever they may be, for coming here and putting our little touch on the American signature. So with that, I want to say thank you to the mayor and the council. Let's continue, raise that flag, and have a good time for the rest of the day. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, everyone, for coming out. for us at the borough, myself, it's very important for us to continue to grow on these cultural events. So I think this is a good start of a relationship with the Bergen Irish here in town, and hopefully next year we'll be in a better situation where we can make this event a lot larger and celebrate one another. Thank you once again, everybody, to the Borough Council. Thank you, and have a good and happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you.